Alright, so this is a test. Alright, so this is Kyle from allmediareviews.blogspot.com. This is the first attempt at a podcast and in the situation, and I'm not sure how it's going to go. It's a little bit like the car videos, a couple of them I've uploaded, but the whole point of this is going to be more organized. Right now I'm sitting in my car trying to warm it up before I go drive to pick up the wife and everything on Tuesday afternoon, November 21st. So I guess the thing to do is I can catch up on a couple of things. Number one, I just did make a few videos physically in the storage space that I'm on the fence about sharing because my head gets cut off frequently, but I don't know. Number two, the whole point of these is because I haven't been able to make videos, and so that's why I'm thinking a podcast might be the next best option. Just set that down for a minute. So hopefully this comes out, even though I have the air on in my car, but. Yeah, so, because I obviously have not. I've made one video since July, I think. I made a couple of videos. One date. I only have uploaded videos from one date since July. Sometime in July, I think it was. So we're in November, and I don't know when I'm going to have a better spot to make videos in yet. So I don't know how good of a recorder this is. I just picked it up on eBay for about $35. It's a handheld thing with a USB. Nothing fancy, but it's a test, really. Kind of like the camcorder I bought. So, and since it's a podcast, the size of the file I'd be saving on my computer and putting onto YouTube and probably maybe some other sites like archive.org and sharing in the blog isn't as large, and I would also presume the upload time doesn't take as long. I'm not sure how the visual works, how that with just like an image. I always just put an image up and then obviously the visual on videos shows up. For just audio, I don't know how that works exactly, but again, it's just a trial and error, and I'll figure it out hopefully once I try to put this up onto YouTube. But the point being is that the size and the time isn't the same. As I wrote something in the blog a few weeks ago about this. The size and the time to upload something like this is not as large. So there's other advantages of audio. Obviously, if I have vinyl and CDs and anything else to physically show, or show just as background from a visual aesthetic, which isn't really much for my own videos. A lot of other YouTube videos do, but that is the advantages of the fact it's a smaller size and it's less time consuming. So, this not probably on this one, because what I hope is if I do these podcasts, they'll be longer probably, but I do want to sort of organize them to at least to an extent, to have some stuff prepared. And I don't know about the way I'm doing it today is going to be the typical thing. The only thing I can conclude though is that the only place I actually can record somewhere in private is in my car, sadly. But in driving, obviously if I have a bunch of stuff prepared like on my computer, on a piece of paper or something, can't really use that because you're driving. If I'm parked, obviously stationary in the car, then it'd be a different story, which that may be the go-to situation. But I want to do some kind of recording discussion of, my own discussion. I don't know if I'll ever have anyone else on this podcast as a co-host or as a guest, but of my albums of the year that I just posted a few weeks ago from 2016, 2017, and then the upcoming albums for 2017, 2018. So, but that's not going to be today, and I don't want to have this go forever because this is probably already turning out to be longer than a lot of initial introductory podcasts. So, like I said, there was a written thing in the blog a few weeks ago about this idea and my history a little bit with podcasting, but I can't remember. I guess I could just kind of go through, besides those 2 recordings of some sort that I want to look to make if they're not on video. I do have the things in the blog that I also want to translate to recordings, which I've never really done fully. I haven't done entirely with YouTube. The albums calendars, which I've meant to, but I haven't. That's going to be all verbal, though, of course, for me. Nothing to show. And I'm working on those still. I want to get up to 2007. I want to get every year before 2007 done. And I'm working on 1975, and I was doing 1986 simultaneously. I've actually been working on many of the ones that I haven't done simultaneously, but those 2 specifically I've focused on. But my largest focus for like more content entry from myself, personal content entry from myself, is singer, songwriter, musicians, a modern singer, songwriter, musicians list. It's not a complete list, as none of these lists ever are complete, but that is in the works and is pretty close to being done. So I'd probably say it's about 75-80% done. And then I do want to do a list on chamber rock, folk, chamber, baroque, rock, that's probably the next one. I don't know how long that's going to be, and again, the blurbs are the biggest issue with that as far as, how much time it takes. But I plan to do that. So, and then the last one is more of these recommended if you like for fans of entries, which I only did one so far on Mew, but I have more I want to do. But I guess I have to kind of, make I need to cherry pick which one to do, which one of these. The albums calendars is a project I'm working on. And the other announcement, I posted something last week about this, is with all these people making books about music, some of them I totally understand, some of them it just baffles me that why someone would want to buy a book from these people, and more importantly, if they can make a book, they can write a book, have a book published by them about music, why couldn't I? And I don't have a full-time job doing music like a lot of these people, and the cost of it may come out of my own pocket, I don't know, but that's my, I guess, long-term goal, kind of like writing and recording one song. But I'm going to escalate that probably in 2018, at least make an effort to find out how realistic it is, how much work's involved, and then actually the direction of the book. If it's going to be a book about my just specific music, specific albums, specific artists, or a broader sense. I think I'd like to have it organized, and then if that one works, then kind of go on to another topic. I probably would just lean to focusing on my sort of favorite style of music among all the music I love, this what I call progressive college rock. That would be an easy one, but I'm not sure. So, I like to write a book about Kevin Gilbert, of course, and of course the whole thing is like Lorenzo from Alt Prog Core has written a book in Italian about him and used some photos that weren't really accessible without permission or whatever, and then he got permission. I'm not sure. The whole hurdle of copyrights, like music, on podcasts and videos and stuff, I don't know how. I would probably look, if I have a book, would want to find someone who could do artwork for it, or I wouldn't have much artwork for it. It would just be more... It would be more of a personal thing. I would try to do my own very limited artwork or something. I don't know. And then putting artwork from the music, from the albums of the bands, that too, I don't know. Like I kind of look at Martin Popoff's book where he didn't use any artwork, and so he didn't have to deal with any of that. He just, the back and front had artwork, and that probably was pretty cost effective. So Martin Popoff, one of his many books, I forget the name of the book I got, in the late 90s, early 2000s. I think it was early 2000s. He reviewed 1,000 metal and hard rock and metal albums, a lot of them progressive. Anyway, so So those are all the sort of upcoming plans. How often these podcasts happen, I don't know. It might be once a week. It might be a couple times a week. Could be rants. Could be just what's going on, sort of audio blogs, which is kind of silly. And I'm sure people, and I do rattle off a lot of names and I babble on as I do in my videos, but I kind of feel bad. I want to, again, thank anyone who's found my channel or the blog, and then this podcast now, I guess, and if you're on YouTube, please comment or like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and we'll see you next time.